What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dapper here. Today we're going to be going over a short Trove video about Flask, aka Vials. We're going to talk about what vials are the best. We're going to talk about how to obtain these vials and when to use each one. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the video. So we're going to go and look at our flasks right now. We're going to click on our flask here. And we're going to talk about each one of these flasks. So the first flask is the Elysian flask. This is the flask that you get from the default. This is the flask everyone has in the beginning. It restores 40% of your health on use, and it has 8 flask capacity. I'm going to do a side note, and you get extra flasks if you have Patron, and you also get extra flasks as you level up your mastery level, okay? So this is just your base flasks capacity that we're talking about. So this one everyone has is pretty self-explanatory. You use it, you heal 40% of your health. The next one is the Elysian Bandolier. Now this flask is unique because it heals 20% of your health on the use, but you get 18 flask capacity. So this is the flask that actually has the most capacity out of any other flask in the game. So if you want to use your emblems more often, this is one of the flasks you want to use. To get this one, it costs 750 credits in the store or 7,500 cubits. So you check your pick, you can get that in the store. The next one is called the Balanced Elysian Flask. It's got a 12 flask capacity. It has 40% health unused, and it also costs 750 credits and 7,500 cubits. This one's okay. I'm not really a big fan of this one. The next one is the Elysian Jug. It has an 8 flask capacity, and it heals 100% of your health on use. So it heals all of your health at once. It's very good. It's not my favorite flask, but in the beginning, it's something you need to get. It helps you out a little bit. That's 100% health is really good. It's also 750 credits and 7,500 cubits in the store. The next flask we're talking about is the Death-Defying Vial. Well, this vial is probably one of the best ones in the game. So what it does is it heals 30% on the use, but instead of dying, it automatically uses a flask when you're low on health. So this holds true for everything except for 2 attacks. So Daughter of the Moon has a sword swing, that's a one-shot kill, and this won't save you from that. And also, the Dreadnought has a nuke, that's a one-shot kill, and this won't save you from that either. But everything else in the game, as long as you have flasks in your inventory, then you cannot die. So this is probably the best for the beginner player. If you don't have a lot of health and you're building a DPS class, Death-Defying Vial is for you. Now this one's a little bit more expensive. It costs 2,000 credits or 20,000 cubits in the store. So you can get it free. Just save up your star bar cubits, and I would buy this one first. The next one we're going to talk about is the Vial of Unleashed Power. So this restores health, or 50% of your health on use. As you can see, it has a 0 flask capacity and negative 50% flask capacity. So if I equip this with my max mastery, I only have 3 uses on it. It's not really the best vial in my opinion, or the best flask, but pretty much whenever you use an ultimate, it's like you're using a flask. So this one's okay to use on the Boomeranger, because you get to use your ultimate so often because of the boomerang charging your ultimate. So this one's not bad for the Boomeranger, but it's not my favorite either. It's okay. But it heals 50% of your health. You get this one from the Weaver of Wonders. So that's the Trove Wonder ship. You buy it with the fragments. Next one's the Vampiric Vial. It's got an 8 flask capacity. It restores 40% of your health on use. And the special thing about this is it has a chance to recover 1 charge when you defeat an enemy. So as you're killing enemies, it has a chance to refill your vial. It's not a bad flask overall. It's not my favorite. I don't recommend it very over other flasks, but it's still pretty good. You also get this one from the Weaver of Wonders, which is the Trove of Wonder ship, and it costs the Fragments of Wonder. The next one's the Valorous Vial. Now this has an 8 flask capacity and restores 40% health on use. But the special effect for this one is it has a chance to recover 1 charge when you deal a critical hit. So if you have a high crit build, this vial is actually pretty good for long sustained fights. I actually switched to this vial when I do Dreadnought and I'm carrying people, because it allows me to constantly be able to refill my flask and deal more damage. Now, the chance of it on a critical hit is 5%, and it has a 15-second cooldown. So, no matter how many times you crit, it still has a 15-second cooldown, and it's only a 5% chance. You also get this one from the Weaver of Wonders with the fragments from the Trove of Wonder ship. Next one's the Condensing Vial. This flask has a 7 flask capacity and restores 50% of your health over use. The special thing about this one is it recovers charges over time. So if you don't have high magic find, if you're not killing anything, this flask is pretty good, especially if you're farming adventure worlds and stuff. So the cooldown on this is every 45 seconds. So every 45 seconds you'll get another vial. So this one's actually pretty good. It's not the best one in my opinion, but it's really good. This one also you get from the Weaver of Wonders. And with the Fragments of Wonder, so just visit the Trove of Wonder ship, you'll see where to get this. The next one is the Evasive Vial. This one has the 8 flask capacity. It restores 40% of your health on use, and the special effect for this is it has a chance to trigger a heal and a random emblem effect when you perform a dodge. Alright, so a random emblem effect, that includes all the emblems, which I'm going to cover in another video, but it'll trigger a random one other than the 2 that you already have equipped. Alright, so this one's okay. If you dodge a lot and you're actually avoiding damage, it's pretty good. But it's not my favorite. This one's also bought from the Weaver of Wonders with the Fragments of Wonder on the Trove of Wonder ship. The next one is the Conjurer's Crucible Vial. This has an 8 flask capacity and restores 40% health on use. It has a chance to recover a charge when your magic find triggers. So this is probably one of the best vials for in-game players. It pretty much allows you to have unlimited flasks, essentially, when you're farming adventure worlds. My magic find is upwards in the 6,000 range. So if I kill a boss in the adventure world and then spawn the chest, my magic find triggers 3 or 4 times. I have a chance to get flasks back. I pretty much never run out of flasks when I use this vial. So this is one of my favorite ones. I definitely recommend it for in-game players. If you're having problems with killing things and you actually get killed a lot, I would definitely switch back to the Death-Defying Vial. You get this one also from the Weaver of Wonders on the Trove of Wonder ship for the fragments. The next one is the Quester's Vial. This also has an 8 flask capacity, restores 40% health on use. Has a chance to recover a charge when you complete a dungeon or a lair quest. So this one is actually pretty good. It's not the best in my opinion, but if you beat a dungeon or a lair, well, then you have a chance to get your flask back. So it's not 100%, but it's still okay. You also get this one from the Weaver of Wonders on the Trove of Wonder ship for the fragments. Next is the Vanguard Vial. Got a 10 flask capacity, restores 30% health on use. It triggers 1 emblem effect the first time you are damaged in combat. So I don't know the cooldown on this, but apparently whenever you get attacked in combat for the first time, it triggers 1 random emblem effect. It seems to be okay. It's not my favorite, but if you want to use this vial, go ahead. You also get this one from the Weaver of Wonders on the Trove of Wonder ship for the fragments. The next one is the Chaos Vial. This one has a 15 flask capacity, so I think this one is the second most flask capacity that you get, but next to the Elysian Bandolier. Its special or heals 20% on use, but its special effect is it triggers a random extra emblem effect when used. So this one's actually not bad. This is what we used to use for speed runs to help maybe get an extra emblem effect like an eye to pop out to actually do a little bit of extra DPS. It's one of the better flasks in my opinion. You get this one from the Weaver of Wonders on the Trove of Wonders ship for the Fragments of Wonder. Last but not least, we got the Vial of Minion Multiplication. This has a 10 flask capacity and restores 30% of your health on use. What it does is it doubles the effects of any equipped emblems that summon combat minions. This includes the eyes and the chickens that you get from the emblems. So this is actually what we use for speed runs right now. So we use this vial, we use eyes, and when I use an arcane emblem, so it'll spawn 2 eyes whenever I use the flask. It does a lot of extra damage. So this is one of the better flasks in my opinion for DPS. If you want to do extra DPS and you have those minion emblems, I would definitely pick this vial. Alright, so the best vials in my opinion, and what you should do is favorite these. So we're going to go ahead and favorite the Vial of Minion Multiplication, the Chaos Vial, the Conjurer's Vial, the Valorous, Death-Defying, and Elysian Bandolier. So those are going to be my recommendations as the best vials that you can use in the game. Every other one is okay and pretty good, but if you want to know the best ones, definitely those. The very best I'd probably say is Death-Defying for a beginner player. For in-game player, Conjurer's Crucible. And then for speed runs, the Vial of Minion Multiplication. Alright, so I'm going to leave a link in the description for all of these vials if you want to take a look at them. You'll be able to see what they do. You'll be able to break it down to see which ones you like the best. You'll also be able to see the emblems if you want to. If you want to join the Dapper Dub community, I have a Discord, and I'll post that also in the description. So you'll be able to join that Discord. Hopefully you guys do enjoy talking to other people, sharing your ideas. You also can get a lot of information from there. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like. If you want to subscribe, I'm going to be posting videos every day for the next month or so. So I hope you guys do really enjoy. If you do leave a comment, give me some feedback. What do you think I did good? What do you think I did bad? You know, anything's good for me. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Adios.